Welcome to With All Due Respect, your recap show for the GFW. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Kinda Real Nate, and as always with me, Mr. E-Bob, in person this time, face to face.
What's going on, buddy?
Casa de la Legion, a little visit here from my good buddy, and I want to do a podcast and recap Chaos number 56. It's hard to believe we're already 56 shows deep with this league, but there's a lot of things going on and a lot of stuff to talk about. I got to finish the show yesterday, and we recapped some stuff in person and knew what we wanted to talk about. So let's just jump right into it. Number 56, I don't remember the card, and I probably should have had the card pulled up. Let's see if I can pull it up really quick, just so I can give the card before we start talking about it. Here we go, number 56. We called it Road to WrestleFest, and I will admit, we have changed the name of that pay-per-view. So we're going to be calling it WrestleGraw just to change it up a little bit. I like that a little bit better. Anyway, here's the card. We got the Watering Hole finally making a return to the GFW Chaos show. We got Dirk versus Billy, Captain versus Uptown Mike, Dustin versus Tex. Aiden was supposed to face off against Basham, but we got more about that later. And then our main event, match number 5, the ladies are bringing it home with Aaron versus Amaya. That's the card that we laid out, and that's what took place. Let's talk about our highs and our lows. What was your favorite thing about the entire show from number 56?
Man, I've got to be honest, a lot of it was really great. I enjoyed Aiden's match. I thought it was really great. I'm not gonna lie, probably match of the night was right there, and then followed by Captain versus Mike was really good. I really enjoyed it. Not gonna lie, did not see the outcome for. Well, I mean, I saw the outcome for it, but I did not see Billy putting up that much of a fight in that match. It was a great match. All in all, it was back and forth the whole time. It was really great to watch. I enjoyed the whole thing.
Yeah, I think the surprise for me was the match number 1. Could have been match of the night. I'd say it was match number 2 of the night. I do think the Aiden match was match number 1, but this first match was outstanding. I thought it was going to be a squash match. I thought Dirk was just going to have his way. Of course, Dirk was on the watering hole. He kind of comes out and makes his presence known and shows his intentions for being back in the GFW. I got to admit, I dig kind of the rap dark poetry thing that we're doing, but it's hard to read. It can be really difficult to understand at times, and I know that as I kind of went through it and read it, I had to pause a couple times and read through it again. But I dig that he's trying something, right? And I can't fault a guy for trying something. I know that you've been working with the Billy character, and you can see the upgrades already. I just wish that we would get some role plays explaining was he in prison? Why was he in prison? Why does he wear prison garb? I dig the character, and you can tell he's been working on his game because he had almost the match of the night. There were some weird spots. I think that guys are worried about breaking rules and whatnot, and so they have these weird pauses and these weird stops. And this match had a couple of them. There was one where he had the kendo stick and he was beating the hell out of Dirk, and all of a sudden he just paused for 30 seconds for Dirk to get up.
Yeah.
So yeah, just brush up on your rules before you go into that, because I'd much rather you break a very small rule than have these really weird long pauses. Outside of the long pauses, which happened a couple times in that match, I thought it was really, really good, and Billy really had a good show out. You really had a really great match. Now, we can kind of get into it a little bit, but Basham was supposed to be a part of that match, and he decided that Basham was going to take a break. But I don't think that was kind of communicated really well, and I know that slightly frustrated you a little bit. So it's a little up in the air about what's going on with the tag team titles, with the tag team team. Is Basham taking a break? We get this new character that I love. I think one of the really cool things I even talked to a couple of the people in PMs about was that all the characters started to feel the same and look the same. Everybody was going with this dark, creepy, Undertaker type vibe, and I love these new characters. They're bringing some color to the league. They're bringing some flavor and some flair. But kind of tell us your portion of what happened in that match and the new character and how that kind of all went about.
Yeah, so it kind of just came out, Basham just kind of wanted to write himself off for a little bit and come out with a new character. And thinking the first thing that comes to my mind is Basham's a champion. Like, you're taking away one of our champions, which, you're a tag champion, which doesn't just mess with you, it messes with your partner. But if your partner's cool with it, then cool, whatever. But, I was like, all right, cool. So I'm going to maybe own up against Joey. I've never fought Joey before. I didn't know his play style. I didn't know how he was going to play with him. I didn't know, his style or anything like that. And if you watch my match, I get the hell beat out of me for a good portion of the match, and I really do. But it was a great back and forth match. At the very beginning, I do get beat up a lot and everything, but I love the way it came out. I love the way the look did. I love everything about how he plays, his look. I'm slowly upgrading Aiden's stuff to where I can get him where I want him. But I really enjoyed the whole thing. Having Basham going now, it does. I'm guessing we're going to vacate the titles. I'm not 100% sure about that. We're still kind of talking about that tonight. We may not. We may talk to Corgi and see what he wants to do, but we'll go from there. Again, Billy versus Dirk was a great match. Again, you did say it. There were the pauses. There were a few, miss-ups on there, which, we just saw one right there where Dirk kind of jumps off the middle rope and doesn't do anything. He just kind of flops on the ground. But like I've told him from the get-go, Billy is improving every day that he plays. Yeah. We went from watching him kind of get beat up a little bit, but now he's like holding his own against Dirk. That was amazing. A lot of the matches were very good. The Uptown Mike versus Captain match was a great match to watch. Back and forth, you kind of, start taking over and everything. To me, and I'm going to say this up front, the worst match of the night was the women's match. It wasn't that it was a bad match. It just was kind of bland and stale to me. It was just kind of wasn't impressive like the women's matches usually are.
Yeah, I thought that the women were a little bit of not a letdown. It's not right. They have had better matches, better main events at least. The women usually always steal the show. And I guess the bar was set really high with those first couple of matches. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think you guys had the second match on the card. Fourth match on the card. That's right. So the first and fourth match were just like really outstanding matches and were really, really, really good. And so like that set the bar really high. And I think that by the time I got to the main event, man, there were some pretty spectacular matches, and that one didn't feel as spectacular as we've kind of seen the women do here. But definitely, like the women are main event quality here, and they've shown it over and over again. I just think this was a tougher card because some of these guys showed out, and they had some really, really good matches. And I think that
definitely,
just overall, everybody's kind of picked up their game, and content is coming in quicker and coming in the way it should be. Cassidy is helping me do role plays, which has helped me do more production on the show, which kind of makes it look a whole lot better. And I don't know. I think it's building up to a really, really good pay-per-view. The current card is out now, and then we'll have one more card after that, which will be the go-home show, and then we'll have the next pay-per-view. And then pay-per-view after that is our biggest pay-per-view of the year. It's kind of like our WrestleMania. The match that I kind of was a little shocked by was just Uptown. I mean, he always gives everyone a really good match, and he's also been sick and like playing catch-up, and just he's had a lot of things go against him. And I just guess like I caught him on a bad day, and it was a little bit of a squash match. But the Captain is like building up and trying to like prove his worth. And I do love like people are working together too. Like we had Xander come out after that match. We had the introduction of my women's character come out at the end of the main event. Luna came out several times, especially at the end of the show with like a surprise. So like people are putting in extra work. It sucked to not have Wolf on the show this week, but he still role played, right? We still got to hear from his manager. We still got to hear from Emily, who's going to have to take a little bit of a break. So, like, people are wrapping up, and writing off storylines, which is a really, really good thing. And I don't know, it just shows that people are putting in the extra work.
Yeah, 100%. One of the biggest things I was excited about coming to your house for was for you to help me with my video. I'm trying to get my skill of making videos up every chance I get. So learning how to make a highlight reel before my entrance comes out is something I've been wanting to do, and I kind of played around with it. I got Nate to help me with it. But that's like the little things that we need to do. Like if you want that kind of video, like quality that like Nate has with Cactus, when you watch him come out, you have this little clip and everything. It's all about getting better with what we do, whether that be the way we play, whether that be the way our call looks, or it be just our interests altogether. It's just upping ourselves the best we can. And there's no doubt about it. We have some really great looking calls. We really do. Everybody does look a little bit different, but at the same time, everybody's colors are pretty much exactly the same. We all kind of stick towards the black, or we stick towards the reds, and that's why I try to transition out of that as much as I can with my characters now. But everything's looking great on my end. I love the way everybody's worked. I love the way Joey looks. There's going to be another new call. Hopefully, I believe this week it's on the card. Wade, I believe the name.
I think it's Joey's husband.
Not sure what it is. I haven't really, apparently there was some RPing that was left out there, so it's kind of up there. We don't really know what happened. But I want to see what he looks like. And then who else do we have that's starting? Your new girl that's coming out. I can't wait to see more about her. I'm hoping she's going to be a high flyer, the way she did that little flip when she came out on her entrance. Who knows? But all in all, everybody is upping their game, and I'm very excited about it.
Well, a little bit because we worked on her moveset a little bit today. I think that I'm even rethinking how I did some of her ring attire now, because you're right, we do go a lot of black and whites. But I will say this, a couple of things. I think this match right here, the Captain versus Uptown match, it didn't turn out as competitive as I had hoped, but it had some really, really good spots. And I'll say this too, I know Cass has done it, I know Wolf has done it, you've done it here with Billy. I love when people here take other people under their wing and just kind of give some advice and kind of help them, DM and get better at their, competition, plus get better at role playing and video making. And you can tell, Billy has went light years ahead from his really generic first call that he had here and really generic entrance to he's put in some effort now, and it's really, really good, and I like how it's turning out. And since we're kind of on the subject of entrances and gear and attire and all those things, I gotta say too, I love Dustin White's stuff. He's always been one of the top guys here when it comes to attires, but he's taken this entrance thing to a whole new level. And I every week there's another new attire. Now that we're kind of moved and in our new house, I'm hoping that I can spend some new time working on some more stuff that I want to work on. But by far, Dustin White, if you want to know, okay, how do I keep my guy fresh and how do I keep him interesting? This entrance video.
That right there is the biggest thing to me, is his Jumbotron video.
Everything.
I love that 100%.
The logos.
Exactly.
It's all spectacular. It's all top notch.
And I love how he always takes our kid cartoon things. The Cartoon Network symbol he made is his own, the Dustin White symbol, and then he had the dragon. I don't remember what it was, the Dragon Land theme one time. It's always amazing to see his call come out.
Yeah, it's his gimmick, and he uses it, and it's so much more goes into it than just winning and losing, right? And so he lost his belt, but yet his character is still extremely relevant. He's a top 3 character here in this company, and it's because he puts in the extra time into his videos, and it's his attires, and it's just really, really spectacular. But now you guys have fought, you've tag teamed together. How was this match between him and Tex?
It's like every match I have with him when it's Tex. I will say this to him, I will say it to anybody, Tex is Dustin's kryptonite. I don't think there's been a match yet where, besides whenever I've lost my hardcore title towards him and we got rid of it, I think that's the only match I've had with him and with Tex that I've actually lost. But it's always back and forth. It's two very different fighting styles. It's Dustin White, very energetic, happy, running around, flippy stuff he gets every now and then just this big Texas brute redneck guy. It's just two different fighting styles, and it's awesome, So I've always got to play, when I play against him, I've got to play smart just like when I play against you or Wolf. I'm on the edge of my seat at all times because I never know what he's going to do. I never know how he's going to figure some way around with beating me. And I never know when that revolution knee is going to come that he hits, whether it's going to be on the ground or if I'm standing up. He's always got it on me every time.
Texas sporting a new look. Well, what's up with the new attire?
It's basically just, no more Rufus. I put him in that one-piece outfit with Rufus, so we're a tag team that we were together. And since Rufus is gone, I just kind of wanted to go a little bit, keep it still the one piece and still keep the Bull logo, but I wanted to change up the materials and the colors and everything and just kind of, go out there a little bit differently.
All right, let's put a bow on number 56. Any closing thoughts, some other stories that you're wanting to see more of, things that you want to see spelled out? I think I said it, I want to hear more about Billy and kind of where does he come from. I don't think he role-played this show. I don't know that he had time. I know that he said because he's in my Madden League, he said he needs to take a little bit of a break and kind of get some things put together. But I want to hear more from them. I love the two new characters. I forget their names, but the one that you fought and his husband. I want to keep hearing more from them. And I love that Dustin tells these really weird, whacked out stories about his character, right, before and after and during the shows.
Definitely.
So again, if you want to see how do I do this, of course, Wolf is always somebody that you can look at. I love what Aiden Steele's doing with his new look, and then Dustin White. You can all go look at these characters and say, okay, that's how I do it. And I'm interested to see what's going to happen to the women's division. I do think they've hit a little bit of a lull here. I'm a little confused where all the stories are going. I'm not quite sure. I just want to hear more, right? I want to hear more about what feuds are really there. It feels like a big pot of women call with no one really standing out and telling this really succinct story. And then look, I know that Cass has been telling a story with her, males and female calls about, I think there's a story there that's really, really cool that I just want to keep hearing more of. But put some closing thoughts on number 56.
Yeah, definitely with the women, there's so many of us that are starting to bring out the females. I will be the first to admit that I've kind of slacked on Taylor and I'm kind of pushing Aiden more for his match. But at the same time, I want to hear more from Blake, Corgi, Amaya.
We haven't heard
Alice.
from Blake and Corgi in a while.
Exactly. I don't know if
I don't think I've ever heard from Amaya.
No, she's had the two matches, but never anything's come out of it. Our biggest thing is that we looked at it we want to start pushing stories more. We've got to have more stories. And we want to try to get more people involved. Go out, have the matches online, and just try to find somebody who does good. Me and Dustin did it the other day, and we found one guy that was really good, and we went to go to message him. He had his messenger turned off, so we couldn't message him anything. But as far as our stuff's going, our card, this card was great. The next card, I think, is going to be some really great matches. Having a tag match on there, you've got Regicide versus Aiden and Johnny. I can't wait for that match. I think it's going to be really cool. You've got Captain versus...
Hold on, we'll get there.
Well,
wrap up 56.
Told me to wrap it up.
I know, not wrap up the show.
Sorry.
I mean 56.
Anyway, 56. It was a great thing. Go ahead.
All right, let's get to 57. We had to cut off Joey's entrance, which is really, really cool. I want to see Joey and King, when he comes back, do a tag team. I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
All right, so here's our next card, number 57. So 2 more cards before the next pay-per-view. Another watering hole is going to be there. I think we're going to have a brand new guest that's asked to be on there. We got Wade versus Joey. We got Taylor versus Alice. We got Captain versus Wolf. And then the main event, a tag team match. We haven't had a tag team match be the main event in a while. But Regicide versus Aiden and Johnny. Should be a pretty good card. There's definitely some. I don't think Captain's ever faced off against Wolf, and I know that Wolf's going to be back on this next show. This is the first time we've seen him since he lost his GFW heavyweight championship against Cactus 2 weeks ago. Wade and Joey, those are the 2 new ones, right?
Yeah, those are the 2 brand new ones.
Yeah, and so I'm surprised to see how that's going to work out. I think because we missed the one role play, I don't know that the booking committee understood that those 2 were actually husband and husband, and so I don't know. There's some weird things going on there that I want to see how they're going to role play that off. And then Taylor versus Alice. I think that's just going to be a really good match between two kind of opposite looking contenders, right? It's going to be like a Tex versus Dustin type situation. So it should be really good. Have you and Johnny ever tag team together?
No. So we kind of talked about it before when we first found out that Basham was leaving. I was like, oh, so we're starting to lose our tag division. And so we were kind of talking in the booking committee, and then Cass came out and she's like, no, she's like, I'm going to try to form up with somebody, and War Boys isn't going 100%. They may be back. I was like, well, so I'm going to go ahead and just go and look to see about finding somebody just to kind of tag with here and there. So I texted Nee, and Nee was like, yeah, bros, I'm cool with that. Then you have Regicide still, and then I think you're still working on the club, trying to figure out what you're going to do with that. Because every time you find a tag partner, for some reason, a week later, they want to leave or take a break or whatever. So I'm pretty sure you're just being rude to these guys in private messaging and making them cry. But we'll figure that all out together. And it's just, I wanted to kind of build that tag division back up because I didn't want to lose 2 belts because we were dropping tag guys. But it should be pretty fun to see. Me and him were both really competitive, and we both kind of play kind of similar a little bit, I like to say. So it should be a pretty good tag team to see how they work out.
I'm really scared about the Wolf match. I mean, look, I still think that he's probably the most complete competitor that we have in our league. His matches that I've had with him have always been like down to the very, very thin wire. I know what he's kind of got planned, and so that should make for some really fun role plays. I think I'm really interested in the Wade versus Joey. Just 2 new characters, I think, that add a lot of color and flair and seasoning to our community, and so I just want to see how that's going to work. And then I know I've got some ideas with the tag team belts and kind of how we're going to progress those storylines. You and I tossed some things around. I've got just influence. I don't have any say-so. Like, we have a booking committee that kind of makes all the matches and decides all that stuff, but I definitely have some ideas that I'm going to throw out there as something that we could possibly do. So card number 57 should be action-packed. We only have 4 matches instead of 5 this card. I don't know why we kind of left off a 5th match, but that means we got to fill it up with role plays. That gives plenty of room and opportunity. Use those sign-up sheets. Matter of fact, let me pull that up because I should have had that already ready to go. But use those sign-up sheets because it's the perfect way for us to stay on top of knowing, okay, how's this thing going to flow together? Where would you like things to be? Where would you not like things to be? You can see that I've already kind of had the things that I want in there that don't need to be deleted. We're going to go in and finish putting in these matches where the matches are listed, but there's plenty of space. It looks like Aiden's put in one thing. I've only put in one thing, so there's definitely tons of room for you guys to go in and put in some stuff. But sign up. Let us know where you want some stuff. It's kind of first come, first serve. These spots are not, you can add in spots is what I'm trying to say. Like these is not set in stone. Yeah. You can add in and take away. Just think through. So like one of the little minor details that annoyed me about last week's show is like Dirk has his entrance, comes out in the watering hole, and as soon as the watering hole is over, he comes back out for another entrance for his match. Like that kind of stuff annoys me. And so just think through logically, like, how would this flow together? And if I'm already out there, I wouldn't go back to the back to come back out for an entrance. You would just stay out there, so cut out your entrance. Or, he should have come out into the watering hole in his ring attire. I mean, you see that when you watch the WWE or any of these other promos. Like, when a guy usually comes out for an interview, if he's in his ring gear, that probably means he's going to have some kind of match or altercation. So, if you need some spots, add some spots, but make sure that you use that to sign up.
Yeah, and definitely think about it because there's been a few times when I've gone to do my RP and the spot that would best fit for me has been taken. So if something like that's happened, just text that person hey, would you mind if I move you down one spot just so that I'm not doing an RP after you do one right after match is over and then it cuts back to me in the ring. Just kind of make it flow. But the reason I wanted to say this, the reason we only have 4 matches on the card is because of that tag match. I really feel that if we have tag matches on the card, they do take a longer time. And I don't want to put on a 5-match card with an hour and 45 minutes to 2-hour long card, So we can knock down one match to have a really long tag match that comes out really good, then why not do it? Altogether, though, I really want to see the Allison Taylor match. I really think that's going to be a great match. I don't remember if I've ever played Alice or not. I think I might have.
KO does Alice?
Yeah, KO does Alice. It's funny because this will be the second week in a row that one of our calls have both gone up against each other. Like I said, I've always liked playing him because there was a reason he had a tag champion. I mean, they're really good. Everybody in our league is getting better and better every day, and that's something that I really enjoy is the competition.
Yep. I think this will be a good card. I think people are watching the shows. I think that's one of the things we could do better at is like when you watch these shows, leave some comments on YouTube because people go to YouTube to see these shows. And I think YouTube is more important than our website because, look, people are going to go to our website one way or the other, but YouTube is where outsiders watch our shows. And if they see that our show has, 12 views and no comments, then they're going to think we're not really that great of a show. They're not even going to give it an opportunity. So if you're putting in the work to watch the show, our last 2 watch parties have not been very well attended. We didn't even have one this time. I threw out a date and nobody could do it. So let's figure out how to do these watch parties. Communicate when you can and let us know what would fit your schedule. But most of all, leave some kind of comment. I know Dirk's really good about that. He leaves some comments on there. We'll talk about some of our partnerships that we formed lately to help get our views and comments up. But let us know what you think about the show. Let us know what you didn't like. Let us know what you did like. It gives us things that we could talk about here on the podcast and gives you more opportunity to show that there's activity in this league and that it's we're not just doing this for 10 people. I know a lot of the reasons why our shows aren't that viewed as much is because we watch them in Discord or we watch a watch party where it's only getting 1 view or 2 views when there's actually 10 of us watching it at the same time. But so look, leave some comments, let people know what you think about the show. And honestly, I want to know, if people aren't enjoying the watering hole, if they're not enjoying some of the segments, if they think, some of the tires are stupid, right? I'm just throwing that out there. It gives us things that we can talk about. It gives us things that we can improve on. And the only way that we can all get better is with some feedback. So leave some comments and let us know what you think. All right, let's put a bow on the entire show today. We got a good card coming out and ready for the next pay-per-view. And then it's all hands on deck for the big pay-per-view. And I can't wait to kind of see how that builds towards that and see what takes place. Put some final thoughts.
Yeah, all in all, like we said, everything's going to be great. The card looks amazing. As long as we do some really great matches, we do some really great RPing, everything will come out great on those. Then, one thing that I always like to watch is whenever I watch Wolf play, he always likes to go for nice, memorable moments. I'm really gun-shy about using OMGs. I'm not going to lie. I kind of look at that as a waste of a finisher. But at the same time, I see the way the matches look. So I'm going to try, for my sake, in my matches, to start using those a little bit more, just to give it a little bit more flair. Otherwise, our matches are just going to kind of start to plateau and stale out. I don't want that to happen with any of my calls.
Yep, I think it'll be a good show. I can't wait to see what kind of content that people put out. I think the card's been out for 48 hours-ish. So sign up. I know I'm going to spend some time tomorrow afternoon or before Thursday to write in what I'm thinking here on the sign-up sheet. So make sure that you sign up on the sign-up sheet and let us know what you're thinking and what you're planning. And keep doing that video work. I know that's one thing we didn't even hit on, but Tex gets jumped after his match from Dustin White. Captain comes out and saves him. That was all Ebarb. Ebarb put that all together. Usually I'm the one that's got to put things like that together. I know Wolf does a lot of those types of things. He actually does way better than I do when he's got time by doing actual in-match gameplay. But put in that extra work, man. That stuff just adds to the community, adds to the shows, and makes it super watchable. All right, let me talk about our 2 partners that we have here. True One Pro Wrestling. It's our sim-fed partners. They put out a really, really great show. You should go watch their stuff. Follow them on Twitter. Follow them on Twitch. Go follow all of their websites. They're putting out some really great content. I love their graphics that they come out with. I just think that they're doing some really, really cool stuff. We have their commercial on our show, and we try to retweet all their stuff as it comes out. It's just a really, really good company, and they support what we do. And we even have an ex-GFW member who played here for a little bit, Go-Go, that I think does some announcing for them. And so hopefully he's more active there than he ever was here. But go follow them. Also, our buddy who's in our chat, Austin DTA. This is a guy that I got connected with on the SmackDown forums where I post our videos and our league and everything that we do. He does these really, really cool gameplay videos where he sims these matches and he edits them all together. Plus, he has his own universe that he puts together and puts shows out. Just a really, really great, nice dude who's been pretty supportive of what we're doing, and we're trying to be supportive of what he's doing. So go give him a subscribe, like his videos, check them out, leave him some comments. He's always active in our chat. I think he's in Germany. I could be wrong about that. So he's kind of opposite time zone from a lot of us, but yet he always finds time to make sure that he's in our chat. And then, of course, you can follow us on all of our websites. We got GrownFolksOC.com. You see all the different communities. We have over 10 different leagues that are in this league or in this community that play everything from Madden to FIFA to WWE to shooters, PUBG, all that fun stuff. And then, of course, you can always follow us on Twitter, GrownFolksOC on Twitter. Give us a follow. We'll follow you right back. Oh, that's another thing. We got to talk about it on the next show. The Twitter beef.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. And I got to figure out a way. I didn't have time on this last show, but I would love for somebody to start like photoshopping, taking snapshots of those Twitter beefs and sending them in as a role play where the announce team can kind of pull them up and talk about them. It's just a great way to build feuds. And it was super active in this past week. I think there was 20, 30, 40 tweets back and forth between a bunch of different calls.
Dirk and Xander were really going at it. You know, that was something to read. I liked a lot of that.
The next show, we're going to talk about Twitter. Everybody's got to remind us. We're going to talk about the Twitter beef that's on there. And then, of course, you can follow us on our own Twitter page. Let me see if I can pull it up. GrownFolks Wrestling. Here it is. GrownFolks Wrestling on YouTube. This has every single video that we've ever done. Even back when I was in the OCW, there's some videos. But go watch them. Give us likes. Leave your comments. Leave your comments. We want to hear your comments. We want to know what you guys are thinking about these shows. It's your show. It's your community. We want to make sure that you're enjoying it. So for eBarb, for all the booking committee here in the GFW, thank you so much for watching the show tonight. I hope that you have a really blessed week. We'll see you next time. God bless. Peace.
See y'all.